Hi lads, so this week's task is output 3. So this is a freehand sketching task. What you need to do is draw up the gaming headset that you're going to design in SOLIDWORKS. Now, we're just following the format of the project. I know some of you won't have access to SOLIDWORKS, so I won't be expecting you to draw it up using SOLIDWORKS this time. But for the moment, I just want you to draw it out as output 3. So you have to draw a three-dimensional view of the gaming headset, all the additional features, the microphone, earmuff, the volume control, the jack cable, this sort of stuff, with some annotation and with some presentation skills. So here's a sample of one that was done by a sixth year this year. Here's another example. So you can see the student has gone with a different type of style. If you look at the supporting font, it's a little small, so you need to put it into block capitals and you need to make it clear. Same here with this one. Font is a little bit off and the rendering could be improved a bit. Here's another example. So this is a nice bit better. All right, so he's got good rendering here between markers and pencils, a block of color behind, but the supporting font is a little small. Okay, so what you're trying to do is show off your drawing skills. Now here's one showing off your drawing skills. Okay, so you can trace some of this out if you want off a screen. You can try draw the simpler bits in 2D if it makes it easier for you. So you're showing off a range of drawing techniques and a range of rendering techniques also. So this one, the scan isn't as clear, so you could go over it with a fine liner pen, and this one is a very high standard also. Okay, now to guide you through this, what I want you to do is look through this slideshow. So here's different techniques that you could use. So this is a crate technique. All right, so what you could do is just draw simple shapes, and then within that you draw your more complex shapes. And this is another way of doing it. So you draw contour lines, and this gives the effect of giving a three-dimensional shape to the object. Okay, it's very good for curved surfaces. This is another presentation technique. Using one color pencil can work quite well, adding some rendering and stuff, so you could do it on a supporting drawing. Or if you wanted to, you could do it on a different colored sheet like here. This is also a very important section, so creating a sense of scale. So you can do that with general measurements, that's the easiest way of doing it. Or you can draw an object beside it. You see here there's a headphone stand, or you can draw a simple head or a hand, that will give it a sense of scale. This is important with your notes. Keep it brief and keep it in block capitals and keep it well off the drawing. All right, and try to avoid using long lines to link the drawing to the notes. This is another technique showing a close-up detail or an exploded view. This can work quite well, especially for the smaller parts like the mic controller. And sometimes it looks well if you leave your construction lines. So some sketchy lines underneath here, it shows the work. It shows that you've actually drawn it instead of tracing it or refining it. So even if you did trace one section of it, you can draw some construction lines over it just to give that effect. Showing multiple views of the same style or the same object can look quite well also, but this I wouldn't expect off everybody, but if you're confident sketching, that could be something to do. And limiting your use of color, that can have a very nice visual effect. And this block of color behind it is called a vignette. So that gives the effect of making it stand out from the background. Now you don't do it behind the entire drawing, you just do it in a little section like this. And this is very important again, directional arrows. So showing a movement or that the object moves. So you see here a directional arrow is used to indicate that the headset slides up and down. This is very different to your annotation arrows. You can see here the difference. And 2D views can be very, very good for anyone that's really capable and also somebody that's struggling with the drawing. If you're finding it drawing complicated shapes, you can do it in 2D and then do a simpler section in 3D, maybe the earmuff in 3D. Okay, exploded views, again, they're very complex. And if you're confident sketching, you can do it for a more complicated part, but you can also do it for jack cable or something like that. Your shadow and shading. So very important to show a variation in tone from light to dark on some of the surfaces. Hatching can do this also, which is just straight lines. And you can also do it with creating a shadow as well. Thick and thin lines. So we talked about this before. So going around the outline with a thick line has the effect of lifting it off the page. So you can see here you've thick lines around the outside and also on the surfaces that interconnect. But if you're struggling with this, just do thick lines around the outside. That will work well also. Okay, so this is a checklist for what should be on the page in some place or another. All right, so look through that and see have you got it, see have you got everything. And there's loads and loads of examples online of how to lay out a product design page like this, so you can get some great ideas on how to lay it out. Okay,